I refuse to
Hi,
get
this is your good sister
comfortable.
Keely
There's
Larry. I'm
always
so
room.
glad that you're here with me today. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel by clicking the subscribe button above my head. I would love for you to do that. Also, if you're familiar with me and my videos before you even start watching, you know it's going to be a good one. Just click the share button, share my videos. I'm really getting to a point where I would want to invest more time into this channel, and I would love your, participation and assistance in that by, sharing my messages when you can, which is very easy to do. So, today I want to talk about a request that I got, and it's about friendship. The question was, how do you know that you have a good friend? How do you get a good friend? If I could just discuss friendship. And I feel like that was a great question, and I really wanted to talk about that because I feel that now there's such a really huge gap with women and within our interrelationships. There's so much hatred and jealousy and envy and strife, which births every evil work within relationships between women. And it affects us very deeply, more deeply than we would ever really imagine. And I think that there has been a picture that's painted of how friendship should look. The truth of what it is ends up being something very, very different. Myself, because I come in contact with so many people all the time, and then I have this, kind of gifting on my life where people just feel like really drawn to me and they feel very connected to me. I automatically make friends of all age groups, of all races. I just very thankful that God has given me that gift. And because of that, because it happened so instantaneously in my travels and within my ministry, I kind of hold back my availability of friendship. And I do that for a lot of reasons. My number one reason that I do that is because I don't necessarily want to have a ton of people in my life or a ton of people that I discuss things with because I don't really believe in that. I came from being a young girl and not necessarily having a lot of friends as growing up, and I couldn't understand why I didn't have friends because I felt like I was a nice bubbly girl, but I would always have opposition. I would always have people that didn't want to be my friends or people that would be upset with other people if they were my friends, and it was just a really weird time in my life. I think all kids deal with that on some level. But as I got older, started to make friends, I just was always really taken aback by the relationships that women had amongst each other. And I'm not talking about women because at that time it was young teenage girls. I would always feel like what is going on. It was just some level of something between every individual. I don't like her because of this, or she made me mad because of this, or she does this. There was a lot of judgment and a lot of things going on. And then as you get older, you decide that there are different qualities that you want in a friend. Like you want someone that's loyal, or someone that's not a backbiter, or someone that has the same spiritual views that you have. And you get older and you notice that people are not growing with you or they're not moving along with you in the path that you're going in. One thing that I went to a preacher's conference with TD Jakes, and he was talking about church growth, and he was saying, when you build in a church, you're so focused in on what God is calling you to do, your relationships can sometimes fizzle down. And he was saying that every time that you're walking with God and building, you should always take a look back and see who's following you. And he was like, God will decrease and God will increase and God will place people in your life. And when I heard him say that, I really felt like maybe I should allow God to choose who he would have in my life. That's one thing that I found that has been very beneficial for me is to kind of sit back and not be so swift to talk and so swift to share, but to really listen and hear what's coming from an individual consistently. That's another one thing that I would say is listen to the people that are around you. What are they saying? What are they speaking? What are their goals? What are their dreams? If they're in alignment with what you agree with in some areas, because you're not going to agree with everything, then that may be a good individual to befriend. Another thing is that you don't want someone that's constantly taking away from you. And that's what can happen sometimes in relationships, is that you have a person that is a nice person and they're a loyal person, but then they're constantly taking from you. They're constantly asking for advice. They're constantly asking for money. They're constantly asking for favors. And then you're depleted and you have nothing to give to yourself or your family. That's not necessarily a good friend. That may be someone that you can have as an acquaintance, but it may not necessarily be someone that that can have interest into your personal space consistently. So that's another thing that I would say, is that if you constantly have somebody that's taking away from you all the time and they're not pouring back into you, that might not be a good friend. I notice people that are highly successful only have one friend or two friends. And I really feel like it's nothing wrong with that. It used to be a time where, if you had the most friends, you were the most popular and everybody liked you, and that was a good thing. When I was in high school and college, you trying to build something in your life, build something within your community and in your family and all that stuff like that. You're not concerned about having 10,000 friends or 50 friends. It's nice to be cordial with people and to have acquaintances and a network. But when we're talking about really hardcore friends, you got to think that it's only really going to be a few people that can fit in those spots. I was talking to my best friend, and she has two daughters. So one of her daughters has a friend that she likes. I like her too. She's a nice girl. Her mother and I were talking about their relationship, and I said that's gonna be her best friend. That's her best friend. And my friend was saying, no, that's not her best friend. They fight and and this and that. And I said, no, they're developing a friendship. I mean, kids like to say they best friends, right? But we know as being older that best friends takes that trip with you. That person that's been with you, that knows about your first love and knows about your college applications that you didn't get into. They know because they've been there with you. You looking back and they're right there. And that's what constitutes a good friend, is longevity. I said they're building a relationship. They're teenagers. They're building a relationship. They like to be together. They're building memories together. That's what they're doing. And then she got quiet because that's her baby. And that's an important factor into friendship. There's someone right there with you through the good and through the bad, through the divorces and the marriages and the babies and the homes and all these things. Are they there? And another thing is that what can stop someone from not being there, not being in your life, is judgment. And that's the third thing and the last thing I'm going to talk about, is someone that's constantly judging you. Now, when you have a best friend, the level of intimacy is based upon the level of communication and experience. When you're constantly communicating with someone and confiding in them and asking them their thoughts and their opinions on what's going on in your life, you want to make sure that that person is not judging you, that they're giving you their honest opinion based upon their experience and their thoughts, but they're not condemning you, passing judgment on you, because that can break up a friendship very quickly, because you feel like this person doesn't love you, this person doesn't understand, this person doesn't care, they're just judging you, they're just feeling like they're better than you, and that can tear down a relationship very, very quickly. But there has to be that level of love there and communication and experience to know that that person's not judging you. They're giving you their honest thoughts. They're trying to help you. They want to, extend some type of wisdom to you, and they want the best for you. That is the underlying foundation of every friendship, is does that person love you and desire the best for you? Not necessarily the best of what they think you should have or what they feel like your life should be, but just them loving you and wanting you to be happy and willing to support and communicate and experience with you, and actually in turn help each other become better individuals, stronger women. And that's the best friend. And I'm going to tell you right now, everybody is not blessed enough to get that. You have to be what it is that you desire. If you want a best friend, you got to be in a position to be a best friend too. So I hope that you can listen to this video and kind of get an understanding of what constitutes a good friend: loyalty, love, non-judgment, no condemnation, longevity, experience. Those sort of things are going to encompass a good best friend. And it's also going to put you in a position to maybe accumulate another best friend. because you understand what it takes. You put your work in. You understand the downfalls and the heights of what a friendship could actually be. And then you can extend yourself out to another individual so they can experience that love and that appreciation and experience and fun, because it's fun having a best friend. It's fun having someone in your life that has known you for 15 years and can sit on the phone for hours and talk about what you used to do and all those sorts of things. It's nice to have that in your life. And if you don't have a best friend and you desire a best friend, pray and ask God. He wants to give you the desires of your heart. And let God choose an individual for you. And that person will just pop up. You'll be at work one day and somebody will send you an email, or they'll come to your office and they'll say, "You want to go to lunch?" Or, you never know who that person can be. And don't be judgmental in what type of form it comes in, because that person may be on an assignment to get you, be your friend, love you, and get you to the next level. So don't prejudge, oh, she has to be like this, she got to look like me, and she got to do the things that I do. You never know what way a friend or a best friend could come in. So I hope that you're able to watch this video, get some new insights on what friendship is, obtain friends or obtain a new friend, and to be a good friend. And it's really the foundation is love. You can love someone enough, a relationship will form. And if you love yourself enough to extend yourself, you can gravitate toward and draw a new friend into your life. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe. There are buttons below where you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. You can like the Facebook fan page, which I would love for you to do. And as always, I'm so thankful to God that's given me this opportunity to talk to you, and I can't wait until you. Bye.